plays games with Steve
and Angel. All right, it's the next day. We just got a photo, completely legally, and we're just gonna hold on to it.
Yeah, photos. They print them on paper now.
What they do? That's cool. The court is now in session for the trial. That guy needs to quiet down a bit. It's the courtroom of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer at Studio One of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well, I would like to move on to your testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. First, I would like to call a familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand.
I would like to call fan favorite Dick Gumshoe to the stand.
Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court.
Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see? This here is the employee area.
He's like pointing to it.
With like a long pointer. Yeah.
The actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios.
Well, it wasn't actually on like a tiny like map though, so it's just like holding it like in the stand and like no one can actually see exactly where it is. His big ass hands too.
Well,
like,
you haven't seen the Mike live action adaptation of Phoenix, right? Have you?
No.
Neither have I.
It's almost disturbing how they do it. That's all I'll say. I don't want to spoil too much for it.
They act it out. No,
I'll say how they demonstrate, like showing like a diagram or something.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay. All right. This is the main gate. Oh, you read that. I think.
The security, nope.
The security lady, I was doing my old bag impression, that works at the studios was here at 1:00 p.m. on that day. Oh, ooh. I'm good. Almost spilled my drink. Past the security station, there is a gate.
Detective, this is why I told you to not bring your drink onto the stand.
When I'm thirsty.
I get thirsty.
They never have cherry Coke. Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1:00 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now, jump ahead to later that day, 5:00 p.m., the production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was canceled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case in brief. Anyone like to hear that again?
It's like Poregi Bar. Oh, no.
Should I listen to that whole thing again? Freaking Gumshoe's head turns upside down. I think I could probably remember that.
So the murder weapon was a spear. How medieval. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Will the witness declare her name?
Oh my god.
My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered.
Your name, please.
Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma.
Your name, please.
Are you into Jills?
Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witnesses to say their names.
Wendy Oldbag, dearie. So just call me Granny. It's super fun. I was an old bag, but not really. That was just my name, dear. So all the other children would make fun of me just because of my name. Can you believe it? But there was this boy, the captain of the chess club in junior high, when he called me an old bag. Well, I just cried to Granny because I had a crush on him. You see?
Objection! Objection! I object to the witness's talkativeness.
Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand. I was just getting to the good part, dearie.
Perhaps we can get to the testimony?
Now the witness, I gotta juggle all three, was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct?
T1 alone.
No, I'm good. I just fun.
Okay. Yes, see, I was. And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you? You know your stuff, dearie. You may begin your testimony.
Nick is like, do I want to intervene in this conversation? No. She sure is one hell of an old bag.
On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 o'clock p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 o'clock when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5 o'clock. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked right by me at 2 o'clock p.m. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading toward the studio. You saw the defendant then? Very well, let's begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor?
You asking me, or?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m.
Poor old Hammer.
And the rest. And the other fucks. I had some errands to run that morning. Yeah, what are those?
Hold it! What kind of errands?
Errands?
Oh, well, you know.
Made of sponge. Answer the question.
Actually, I was watching poor Hammer and Powers, observing, you know.
Ooh.
Observing? Weren't you supposed to be at the guard station?
Whippersnapper, I told you I locked the gate, didn't I? I did my job!
I'm not sure your boss would see it that way.
Anyway, I always watch Hammer's run-throughs. Always. Never missed one in all my years.
Wow. I want to see a Steel Samurai run through too.
You could quit being a spirit medium and take up guard duty.
Not a bad idea. Anyway, it was 1. I was at the main gate from then until 5.
Hold it! So you were watching there the whole time? No breaks? Not even a second?
Of course, I'm a professional, you know. Or are you criticizing how I do my job, whippersnapper?
No, it's just... After seeing you eating those donuts in the guard station yesterday...
I can watch the gate and eat donuts at the same time! Snipper whapper!
Ooh, snipper whapper. Old windbag is losing it, Nick.
Why don't you raise... Why don't you raise an objection?
So the witness was on duty through the afternoon the whole time. Very well.
Was that a typo?
What did you see?
No, I think it was intentional.
Oh, why don't you raise an objection?
Yeah, it was me. It's like, oh, well, why don't you do it, Maya? You get snapped at.
I don't know, Nick. I don't have a badge. It looks like a butthole. Oh, the murder happened at 3:30.
It's called a sphincter badge, Maya.
Just me because a certain man walked by. Let's press this.
Hold it. 2 o'clock? You're sure?
You know, when they designed these badges, they shouldn't have had it where you press it and a brown slip comes out saying I'm a lawyer. It just doesn't... now I can't unsee it. Anyway.
Sure as spit. Well, who was the man? Really, you should try not to get so excited at your age. You might strain something. Now, don't get your skivvies all in a bunch. I'll tell you who it was.
It was Pat. It was a man right there, and he was headed toward the studio. Nick, doesn't she seem like she's enjoying this a little too much?
Windbags love gossiping about other people's misfortunes.
Ugh, can't she get her kicked somewhere else?
On Route 66?
Was that a... Oh, okay, it was just annoying. So I was like, was I penalized for, like, not going through?
Wah, wah. Well, yeah, it was basically that, yeah.
Oh. Anyway, as at the man, the gate, And the murder happened to interesting to me because a certain man walked by at 2 p.m.
Back in the day on Tumblr, I would make a lot of audio posts of Ace Attorney fan dub stuff, and I became very familiar with the sound library because of editing.
Oh.
I had like all of them downloaded and had to use them all the time. Yeah.
All right. Well, I have to bring up the photo. I just don't know if I should ask more questions first.
Doesn't hurt.
Interesting to me because a certain man walked by at 2 p.m. Now, the murder happened at 2:30, right? I was at the gate and from blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it was one. Maybe I could just... I just asked if you were sure.
Hold it. Did you see the victim then?
Did I see poor old Hammer? Nope. He'd already gone to the studio before I got back to the guard station.
Tell us what happened next.
Okay. I was at the gate. I already pressed that. Oh, I had some errands. Poor old Hammer and the rest of the bunch were doing a run-through. On the day of the murder, I'd ride to the guard station 1. I guess I already talked about that. I don't know. Clarify, like, who was the rest.
A run-through?
They were working out a scene between the Steel Samurai and the evil magistrate. They got the basics figured out by noon and were to use the afternoon for practice. Rehearsal was supposed to start at 5 o'clock. That's why poor old Hammer went to Studio 1 in the afternoon.
So Powers was in his dressing room sleeping when he was supposed to be practicing. Talk about a laid-back hero.
If there was a run-through in the morning, why did you only get there after noon?
I had errands. I was at the gate. Now the murder happened. I mean, we all know that it was 2:30. Interesting to me because a certain man walked through. Who was it? It was Powers. Nick. Okay, I went too far. I assume I have to press the last one with that photo, so I think I'll just do that now. And yeah. Guide map, card key. Powers is.
Have
Objection!
faith, little angel.
Let me get this straight, old bag. Miss Old Bag.
What's up?
Excuse me, Miss Old Bag. I mean, so I'm confident in my logic for the most part. I don't know about the game, because the game's gonna be like, no, you have to explain this first.
I say, go with your logic, and if we're like, oh, this is a bullshit, we'll steer you in the right direction.
Okay, all right.
But so far, your logic has been very sound.
Okay, that's good.
You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you?
Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo.
You were supposed to bring it earlier and have it all approved.
This is illegal.
This is a dick pic. No, all right. What is this exactly?
None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo Old Tokyo. And like Maya gives a thumbs up next to Nick. Like, yeah. Miss Old Bag. Is this the Mr. Powers that you saw?
Of course. Didn't your mama tell you to teach you any sense, sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right?
Yeah. Well, I wonder.
True. Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai.
I know that. I wasn't born yesterday. No one in this court is accusing you of that, Miss Witness.
No one in this court was born yesterday.
It was decades ago, right?
Yeah.
He's having trouble calling
Centuries.
her. He's having trouble calling her Old Bag, apparently.
However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you? Huh, nosy old man. Of course I have proof.
What?
Huh?
Even Edgeworth is surprised?
The prosecution would like to ask the witness, please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time.
How was I to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me, this isn't any good as evidence, pal.
Okay.
He didn't even give it a second look.
Wow, old Windbag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good.
Let's hear about your proof, then. I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now, look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his leg. See? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy? So he had sprained his ankle. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness.
She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals.
Oh.
Squeal.
Squeal like a piggy.
What's it, Powers? I don't know what it is.
Are you doing the fucking Miiverse voice?
Oh, no.
The Mitomo?
Oh, not quite.
I saw Bad Strip fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big miss. Apparently sprained his ankle pretty bad. Okay. I mean, that's a good map. I keep thinking that's a photo.
What?
Anyway, even though this is a clear picture of the photo, I'm like, oh, this is the
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
a picture of a photo. He's dragging one leg. Press the A button to examine. It's the left leg. No,
it's his right leg that. Oh, the left leg is dragging.
yeah,
you're
it's
right, you're right,
his
sorry.
left. Yeah.
Sorry,
but-
that was the other episode where it's like.
Yeah. But
Right, I mean left. I mean, ooh.
Take it back now, y'all.
And I don't know that this is mirrored. There's no way to like examine it further. Submitted as evidence. This was a spear that was stuck, and that's a sphere.
Well, explain your line of thinking at the moment.
I'm just trying to look at discrepancies. Like, oh, does this photo match like what she's describing? Like which leg? Card key for the studio employees. This is just a random thing. Guide map. The main gate. I mean, I don't know where the gate. That's where he's going. He has to go. Okay, so he has to go a certain direction, but I can't really tell from the photo which way he's going. Like, it's...
Well, do you remember where the camera was?
The camera's on our left. So it's definitely taking a picture of his left leg limping.
Yeah.
And it's only a picture of him going left, but I don't know if he's going to turn to Studio 2 or he's going straight to Studio 1. Let me just read through what she says. He broke one of the props. I saw her trip and fall that morning during the run through. I never said anything I don't mean, mind you. He broke one of the props. Apparently he sprained it bad. He had to come back to the drag race the next season. You can see he's dragging his leg, so he clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy? He's dragging his leg. Let's just talk about it.
Hold it. Are you absolutely sure? Let's take a look at that picture again.
It's the left leg.
So he was walking strangely because he was injured. Does look like he was dragging his foot.
It
Oh,
does
no.
look like he was dragging.
Oh, yes, it looks like he was dragging his foot. See? And you didn't trust me, whippersnapper.
That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy?
That's how I knew it was Powers.
That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy?
Hold it.
Hold it.
Still, you can't look at this. You can't look at this and say it's Mr. Powers.
Objection!
Yes, but only Mr. Powers would have been dragging his leg.
He has a point. It does seem quite likely that it was Powers.
There's got to be more to this. I'd better keep pressing her.
That's how I knew it was Powers. I already pressed this one, right?
Yes.
Okay. Apparently he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Which one?
Hold it. Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained?
Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch.
Thus the nap.
Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked.
Dragging his foot. Okay.
You can see he's dragging his leg. See, clear as day. Guide map. So they were rehearsing in Studio 1. Right? Or no, it was 2.
What are you talking about?
Where were they doing the rehearsal?
Where they had to go? Where they had to be?
Where he like sprained his leg.
Oh,
and he, like,
no, that's in the employee
1.
area.
Oh, that was in the employee area? Okay, and he went to his dressing room, which is also an employee area. And then they were supposed to go to Studio 1 to actually do the rehearsal. Like, not the run-through, but the actual rehearsal.
Right.
So he would pass the gate, but I don't think that's him. So he would go in that direction. He was able to walk. Pierce through the chips. Could he have gone without this card key? He dragged one leg. It's photo number 2. This one I am kind of... You can see he's dragging. It's like clear as day. I think I'll keep pressing things. He broke one of the props. It was a big miss.
Hold it! He broke a prop?
Sure did. His own samurai spear.
His samurai spear. The murder weapon?
Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it.
This strikes me as a significant detail. I'd better write this down in the court record.
Oh, okay. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. He broke one of the props. Okay, so that's updated. A break in the shaft has been mended with duct tape. And did he have duct tape in this photo? How am I supposed to know? I guess I could present it and be like, where's the duct tape? Saw Powers trip and fall. I'm just gonna press everything.
Hold it! Trip and fall?
Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Powers sprained his ankle.
That is his left, too. I'm assuming that's the leg that got sprained.
I helped make it better for him, of course. Give him a kiss in the boo-boo.
You helped make it better?
I kissed it where it hurt.
Let's just skip over that part, shall we?
Where was the assistant then?
I licked it, too. Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think.
Oh, kinky.
She didn't know about Powers' ankle.
I was gonna kiss it first.
You may continue your testimony, and please stop talking about kissing and licking.
Broke one of the probs. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene. Well, that's... I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. I'm just curious what she would say.
Hold it!
Whippersnapper!
Hey, I haven't even said anything.
I'll have you know I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs. Everything I've said is on the straight and narrow, the up and up. You today always wanting about each other, pointing fingers this way and that. It doesn't make it really want to cry.
Mr. Wright, please, for all our sakes, try not to upset the witness.
I think Edgeworth has met his match.
I just might as well press this 2.
Hold it. Who was present at the run-through?
Well, let's see. There was Powers, he's the Steel Samurai. Then poor old Hammer, the evil magistrate. And me.
And what exactly were you doing?
Observing, just observing.
What about the assistant?
Oh, she was off moving backdrops around and such.
So she didn't see the run-through then.
Apparently he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Oh.
I think we've heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me. Which is, where is this Steel Samurai costume now? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes. And it is clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right.
Are you sure you're sure, Your Honor?
Object.
Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Now, nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers.
Now here.
Now here. The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Now here, huh?
Then allow me... Now here, huh? Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please?
No need to ask twice.
Okay, so it's a good thing I didn't present anything.
The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be this Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
The time before Hammers was 2:20. The only person I saw go for that was Will Bowers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. Let's press it.
Hold it. Are you sure?
Objection! The witness has answered the question. Anyone going into the studio had to pass by the witness.
That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy.
Edgy boy?
Old Windbag sure has balls. Or, well, you know what I mean. She has girl balls.
Old windbags have a way of skipping over important details, after all. Or, for that matter, entirely forgetting them.
How convenient.
Something for you to look forward to, perhaps?
Oh, no.
Men don't get old like girls do.
Yeah, they age like a fine wine.
Yeah, right.
The time of the poor Hammer's murder was 2:30.
True.
Girl balls was if anyone here watches Scrubs.
Oh,
No.
I remember that.
Yeah, well, maybe someone in the audience does. That's for you. For the scrub heads. The only person I saw go to the studio was for Will Powers. No one else went there. Did I already press this one? I'm already forgetting. There isn't a lot. No one else went there. Well, let's press this.
I think this is when it's like, are you sure?
What about-
What about before you? What about before you got to the guard station?
You mean before 1 o'clock? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then.
They're all both so handsome.
And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention...
If they had, I would have seen them. Spear, guide map, card key, photo, 2, card key for studio, Grand Century Room. Does it say whose this is? It just says it's a card key.
That was Will Powers' card key. Remember?
Oh, okay. I mean, it... I
We're
wanted
just
to
borrowing, right?
He's dragging one leg. I know what you're referencing. We should have a counter for how many SpongeBob references.
1 million, it feels like.
The murder weapon, the butthole, the autopsy.
Allow me to present my butthole.
And also, the round slip comes out and it goes... It's just, again, who designed this?
Guide map, employee area, main gate. I would have seen them.
Have you pressed everything?
In front of them was Will Powers. I think I haven't pressed the first one.
Hold it. How do you know that?
Eh? Didn't I just explain? I gave donuts to the young detective. And then, after some rubbish about it being a secret, pal, he told me everything.
I see Detective Gumshoe shares his fellow officers' fondness for donuts.
The only person I saw go to the studio for them was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had to, I would have seen them. I want to press this or present something to it, but I'm not sure what. I feel like it's a photo because
What makes you think the photo?
I want to bring up the fact that it's a second photo, but I don't know if the game's gonna know that I have that conjecture. Guide map. Well, I don't think I could bring this card key. I don't think the spear is relevant. Guide map. If there's a contradiction to like the direction of like having to traverse through the studio, I feel like only then I would bring up the guide map, but like I'm just like fixated on like the photo.
And have you like definitely like checked the descriptions of all the evidence you got?
Time of death was at 2:30. Cause pierced through the chest by a spear. Guide map to Global Studios. Press A to view the details. It's retrieved at the front of the entrance. There's a dressing room. There's the employee area. There's a gate. The main gate. So there's a... There was... Ooh, I think it was in Studio 2. We saw the grate was opened. That is the one way that someone could sneak through into Studio 2 without passing the gate. But I don't know that I have evidence that would contradict that, as if it's just this map. But it doesn't really say anywhere. Card key. Card key for studio employees grants entry into Studio 1. You can only go into the Studio 1 if you have this card key. He's dragging one leg. Press A button to examine. This was taken at 2. It's photo number 2. Received at the front entrance. The weapon submitted by Dr. Gumshoe. The murder weapon. A break in the shaft has been mended with the duct tape. No one will believe me. This isn't important. This is going to be a thing where this is actually important. Because it hasn't been important. I'm predicting that now. That this is going to be decisive evidence somehow. That's just for later. Time of death. God. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. No one else went there if they had. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. The time for poor Hammer's death was 2:30.
I think it's time you shoot your shot.
The only person I saw go. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. This is such a shot in the dark. But I want to present the map. I don't think that would make sense though. It doesn't say anything else though, right? Dressing room gate. Time of death was at 2:30. Yeah, and she says it's 2:30. Pierced to the chest by a spear. But the spear has tape on it. A break in the shaft has been mended with duct tape in the shaft. The shaft is just the pole part, right?
Yeah.
The stick part. Pierced to the chest by a spear. I'm gonna have to make a choice.
Yes, you will have to make a choice. Please, for the love of God.
SungWon, what's the thing you always say? Be brave.
Angel, please go with your gut
God.
on this.
All right, which one? If I had, I would have seen them. No one else went there. If I had, I would have seen them. Let me.
And you're not asking for help, so you got to do something.
I'll do them. Let me show you the map.
Objection!
No.
Oh, the music is playing. Oh, I'm getting embarrassed.
Angel, so I'm going to do my impression of you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I got the right answer exactly right. Oh, but I don't think the game knows that. I guess I'll just won't click it.
What if the
And
game
you gave me shit for Sonic Adventure 2. All right. So, there was
See, now it's a safe place.
there was a train of thought, right, that you had. What were you? Do you remember what you had that you were like, oh, the game probably doesn't think this?
It's. I was thinking about like the map and like the grate.
No, not that part.
Oh.
Before that. There was a distinct...
But you were right. You have no evidence.
Yeah, the
of
map
that
doesn't
grate.
show you anything. Yeah, don't worry about the map. There was a train of thought you had where you're like, something, but I think the game, blah, 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 blah. But I was like screaming inside, like, just do it. Just go for it. Just go for it.
Just go for it.
Do you remember what that was? And if you don't, go look through your evidence. There was a detail you were like, oh, this is really weird. Why is this a thing? And then you moved on from it completely. Because you were like, I want to present. I'm like, do it. Do it.
Meanwhile, Professor Layton and Luke are just like staring from across at a table, just like,
We just have to wait for Emmy to...
oh, Professor, can we help him now, please?
No, Emmy hasn't asked for help, Luke. We have to wait here. I'm so bored, Professor.
Drink more tea, Luke. Drink more tea.
Sorry, I'm Chucky Finstering the place.
Yeah, we need Angelica to come in here and just fucking yell at you.
Baby.
Hey, Angel. Amory comes in.
Oh god. He's dragging one leg. Okay. It's this, right? It's because it's photo number 2.
And what about that is weird?
That there's a missing photo that we don't know about.
Because
and no
when
one's
does this
talking about it.
does this thing take a photo?
Every time someone passes by the gate.
And so what would so
she would know if, you know, that went off because she's supposed to watch. The poor times, I don't want to like represent the wrong. The only moves were there. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. See, now I don't know which line. If they had, I would have seen them. I guess that would be a lie to contradict. Okay. Okay. All right.
Objection! Sweet release! Oh my god! Unfortunately, we have to hold on, and we'll pick this up tomorrow.
Oh no!
Oh, Angel, be brave, little one. Make a choice and have no fear. Oh, we'll see you tomorrow.